I want to try something different today. And I want to close your eyes and use your imagination just for a moment. Actually, don't if you're driving. But picture this. Tomorrow morning, you wake up and the internet, as we know, it is gone completely. Every platform, every app, every system wiped clean. And the whole world gets to rebuild it from zero. What would you build differently? Hold the thought because today's episode is built entirely around that question.
Web3 and AI made simple. Hosted by yours truly, Riza UT.
Welcome back to Web3 and AI Made Simple. I'm Riza Utility. We are 10 episodes into season 2, and you've been here from the beginning. You've gone on a quiet journey. You've questioned your relationship with social media. You've discovered, been trading AI without knowing it. You have looked at the hidden cost of free apps and the future of your digital legacy, the trustworthiness of the machine explanations, the algorithms grip on your choices, the future of identity, and who really benefits when AI discovers medicine. That's a lot of awareness, a lot of new questions. And today, I want to take all of that awareness and channel it into something creative, something hopeful. If we could start internet over with everything we now know, what would we design? We wish we'd made the first time. Let's go. By the end of the episode, I think you'll see Web3 not as a technology, but as a set of design choices. Let's start by acknowledging something important. The internet, as it was originally built, was an extraordinary achievement. It connected the world. It democratized information. It gave choices to people who'd never had a platform. It transformed education, commerce, communication, and even creativity. The people who built it weren't villains. Many of them were idealists, but they made choices, design choices that had consequences nobody fully anticipated. And over time, business models evolved that turned those choices into systems that extract more than they give. Here's what I mean. Number one, identity was left to platforms. There was no built-in identity systems for the internet. So companies like Facebook and Google stepped in and said, we'll handle identity. And now they control it. Your login, your data, your digital self owned by them. If we started over, would we make that choice again? I don't think so. Here's the choice number 2. Content ownership was never built in. When you post something online, the internet has no native way to say this belongs to Riza or this belongs to you. Ownership was an afterthought. So platforms claimed it through terms of service. Nobody read. If we started over, would we forget to build in ownership? Absolutely not. Choice number 3. The business model defaulted to attention extraction because there was no built-in way to pay for things at a micro level on the internet. Advertising became the dominant business model, and advertising rewards attention, and attention rewards addiction. If we started over, would we design for addiction? I hope not. These weren't inevitable outcomes. There were design choices, and design choices can be redesigned. So let's redesign.
Let's imagine we're building Internet 2.0 from scratch.
And we get to make different choices. Redesign number one. You own your identity. In our new internet, your identity lives with you, not with a company. You carry it in a digital wallet. When you want to log into something, you present your credentials, verified, secure, private. No company stores your identity. No company can lock you out. No company can sell it. Sounds familiar? That's what we talked about in episode 8. Do you still remember that? Decentralized identity. It's not a futuristic fantasy. It's a design choice that's available right now and being adopted as we speak. Redesign number 2. You own what you create. In our new internet, every piece of content you create, a photo, a song, a video, a written post, is automatically linked to you through a verifiable permanent record. Your authorship is embedded in the content itself. If it's shared, if it's used, if it generates value, that value traces back to you. This is what blockchain-based content ownership and NFTs at their best were always trying to achieve. Not a speculation, not hype, just a simple principle. If you made it, it's yours. Redesign number 3. The business model serves you, not just the platform. In our new internet, you're not the product. You are the customer, or better yet, the participant. Instead of your attention being sold to advertisers without your knowledge, you choose what data to share. And if someone profits from it, you share it in that profit. This is the vision of the ownership economy, of data cooperatives, of tokenized participation. The things we've been exploring all season. Redesign number 4. Algorithms work for you. In our new internet, the algorithm doesn't decide what you see based on what you keep scrolling longest. Instead, you set the parameters. You tell the algorithms your goals.
Help me learn. Show me perspective. Limits my time to 30 minutes.
The algorithm serves your intention, not someone else's revenue target. Redesign number 5. Transparency is built in. In our new internet, when a system makes a decision, that affects you, whether it's an AI approving a loan, filtering a job application, or recommending medical treatment. You can see how that decision was made. The record is verifiable. The process is auditable. Trust is earned, not demanded. Now, here's the punchline that I've been building towards this entire episode. None of these redesigns are imaginary. Every single one of them, decentralized identity, content ownership, participatory economics, user-controlled algorithms, transparent AI is being built right now, today, in the real world. That's what Web3 is. Web3 isn't some abstract future technology. It's the collection of design choices we wish we'd made when the internet was first built, finally being implemented. It's not the next internet. It's the internet we should have built in the first place. And now that you understand that, you understand Web3 more deeply than most people in the world. Here's what I want you to carry from today. The internet wasn't handed down from the sky. It was built by people who made choices. And those choices shape the world we live in now. Some of those choices were brilliant. Some of them created problems we're still dealing with. But here's the hopeful part: we get to choose again. The tools exist, the awareness is growing, the builders are building. And you sitting here listening to this podcast, 10 episodes into a season about asking deeper questions. You are part of that shift, not because you need to become a developer or a crypto expert, but because every time you ask,
Who owns this? Or who benefits from this? Or is there a better way?
you are participating in the redesign. The internet is being rebuilt, not all at once, not perfectly, but it's happening. And now you know why. And you know what to look for. That's not small thing. That's everything. Thank you for dreaming with me today. I think this might be my favorite episode of this season because it takes everything we've learned and turns into something hopeful. And if this episode changed how you see the internet, share it. It's the kind of conversation that needs to spread. Next Tuesday, we get practical and a little urgent, but in the gentlest way possible. The three things that will still be yours in 10 years. And if you act now, it's episode 11. And it might be the most important action episode of the season. I'll see you next Tuesday. Always take care of yourself. And always remember, stay curious, stay grounded, and stay human.